My maid of honor stole $15,000 from my wedding. So I sent the security footage to her mother. The paper cut on my thumb stung, a sharp, biting pain that mirrored the sudden, twisting knot forming in my stomach. I sat on the living room floor of our new apartment, surrounded by a sea of ivory and gold cardstock. It was Sunday morning, the day after my wedding. The air still smelled faintly of the leftover floral arrangements we had dragged home, mixing with the dark roast coffee Mark had just brewed. This was supposed to be the fun part. This was the counting the bounty moment where we tallied up the honeymoon fund and finally exhaled after 18 months of planning hell. But I wasn't exhaling. I was staring at a single, crisp $1 bill resting in the center of a heavy, linen-lined envelope. "Mark," I said, my voice sounding thin and brittle in the quiet room. "Look at this." Mark looked up from his stack, a half-smile on his face. "What? Did Uncle Robert write a check or give cash?" "I bet it's a check. He likes a paper trail." "It's cash," I whispered. $1. Mark laughed. It was a genuine, confused chuckle. $1. Robert drives a Bentley, soft. He probably dropped a zero. Or 3. "No," I said, flipping the card over. "There's nothing else. Just love, Uncle Robert and Aunt Marie. And a single George Washington." I reached for the next envelope. It was from the Patterson family, my dad's business partners. Wealthy, old school, generous people. I slid my finger under the flap. It opened easily. Too easily. The glue felt tacky, but not sealed. I pulled out the contents. Another single dollar bill. My hands started to shake. I grabbed the next one. And the next. My cousin seeking a law degree. My boss. Mark's godfather. $1. $1. Empty. $1. I dumped the wooden card box out onto the rug. It clattered loudly, a hollow sound that signaled disaster. We tore through 50 envelopes in a frenzy. The result was a statistical impossibility. Every single guest from the high net worth side of the list, the people we knew, for a fact, had brought substantial gifts, had apparently decided to tip us like we were valets. "This isn't right," Mark stood up, pacing the small room, running his hands through his hair. "Robert told me to my face, put this toward the down payment." He patted his pocket. "He brought $5,000, Sophia." "I know he did." 15,000, I estimated, doing the mental math of the missing funds. "Mark, at least $15,000 is gone." "The venue," Mark snapped. His eyes went dark. "The wait staff. The cleaning crew." Someone popped the box. I looked at the wooden box. It had a lock. A small, decorative brass padlock. It was still locked. "The lock isn't broken," I said, examining it. And I had the key. It was in my bridal purse the whole night. "They picked it," Mark insisted. "Or they unscrewed the hinges. We need to call the venue manager. Right now." I grabbed my phone. My hands were trembling so hard I mistyped the number twice. I dialed David, the venue manager at the Gilded Oak. "David," I said as soon as he picked up. "We have a problem. A $15,000 problem." David was defensive at first, naturally. He talked about background checks, vetted staff, and security protocols. But when I threatened to bring the police down to his lobby within the hour, his tone shifted. Okay, David said. "Listen. I'm at the venue now. We have cameras. High-def cameras in the hallways, the lobby, and the bridal suite where the gifts were stored during the cocktail hour. Come down here. We'll watch the tapes together. If one of my guys touched that box, I'll kill them myself. We drove to the venue in silence. The rain was hammering against the windshield, matching the chaotic storm in my head. $15,000. That was our house down payment. That was our future. We arrived at the Gilded Oak. The ballroom was empty, stripped of the flowers and the lights, looking cold and industrial in the grey daylight. David met us at the door and ushered us into his cramped office in the back. A large monitor dominated the desk. "I've already pulled the footage from the bridal suite," David said, his face grim. The box was moved from the reception hall to the suite at 6:30 p.m. for safekeeping, right? "Yes," I said. "My maid of honor moved it. Jessica. Jessica. My best friend of 10 years. The girl who held my hair back when I was sick in college. The girl who helped me pick out my dress." "Okay," David said. "Watch." He clicked play. The screen showed the bridal suite. It was a beautiful room with vintage mirrors and a plush velvet sofa. The door opened. Jessica walked in. She was wearing her sage green bridesmaid dress, holding the heavy wooden card box with both hands. She looked over her shoulder, checked the hallway, and kicked the door shut with her heel. I let out a breath. Okay, she's securing it. That's what she was supposed to do. "Keep watching," David murmured. Jessica didn't put the box in the safe. She didn't put it in the corner. She placed it on the vanity table, right under the bright makeup lights. Then, she reached into her oversized tote bag that she had stashed in the room earlier. She pulled out a handheld clothing steamer. "What is she doing?" Mark whispered, leaning closer to the screen. Jessica plugged the steamer in. She waited a few seconds for it to heat up. Then, she picked up the first envelope from the slot. She ran the steam nozzle gently along the seal of the envelope. The glue melted. The flap lifted perfectly, without a tear, without a trace. I felt like I had been punched in the throat. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. I just watched, horrified, as my best friend reached into the envelope with 2 fingers, extracted a thick stack of $100 bills, and shoved them into her bra. Then, she reached into her tote bag again. She pulled out a stack of singles. She placed $1 bill into the envelope. She pressed the flap back down. The warm, reactivated glue sealed it shut. She smoothed it out. She set it aside. She picked up the next one. It was an assembly line of betrayal. Steam. Steal. Replace. Reseal. She moved with a terrifying efficiency. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't shaking. She was sorting them. I watched her look at the names on the envelopes. She was skipping the ones from our college friends, the ones she knew would be checks or small amounts. She was targeting the heavy hitters. My family. Mark's family. She planned this, I whispered, tears finally spilling over, hot and stinging on my cheeks. She brought a steamer, Mark. She brought a steamer to my wedding to rob me. "There's more," David said. "Look at the timestamp." I looked. Saturday, 7:15 p.m. 7:15, I choked out. That was during the speeches. I was looking for her. I thought she was in the bathroom. "She made 2 trips," David said, scrubbing the video forward. "She comes back at 8:45 p.m. during the dancing. Same routine. She emptied the late arrivals." I watched Jessica on the screen. She checked her makeup in the mirror. She fluffed her hair. She patted the wad of cash hidden against her chest. Then she smiled at her reflection, a cold, satisfied smirk, and walked back out to the party. To dance with me. To hug me. To toast to my happiness while standing on a pile of my stolen money. I felt a wave of nausea so violent, I had to grab the edge of David's desk to keep from collapsing. The betrayal wasn't just financial. It was existential. It rewrote the last decade of my life. Every memory I had with her was now tainted, overlaid with the image of her steaming open envelopes like a professional grifter. "I'm calling the police," Mark said, his voice shaking with rage. "I'm going to have her arrested right now." "No," I said. Mark looked at me, shocked. "What?" "Sophia, she stole 15 grand. "We are calling the police," I said, wiping my face, my eyes hardening into something steel. "But not yet. Not until everyone knows. She relies on her reputation, Mark. She's a social climber. She wants everyone to think she's successful. If we just arrest her, she'll spin a story. She'll say it was a misunderstanding. She'll lie." I looked at the screen, at Jessica's smiling face. "I want to burn her down," I said. "I want to burn her world down before the cuffs go on." "David," I said, turning to the manager. "I need this video. All of it. The highest resolution you have." "I'll email you the file," David said. "And I'll save a copy for the detectives." We drove home. I sat in the passenger seat, laptop open, watching the footage over and over again. Every time she slid a bill into her dress, a piece of my heart hardened. We got home. I didn't unpack. I sat at the kitchen table and opened my phone. I opened WhatsApp. I created a new group. Group name, Wedding Thank Yous and Updates. I added everyone. I added the entire bridal party. I added Jessica. I added Jessica's mother, Linda, who treats me like a second daughter. I added her father. I added Uncle Robert. I added Mark's parents. I added the 30 guests, who we knew had given cash gifts. It was a nuclear audience. I waited until I saw the joined notifications pop up. People were probably expecting photos. They were expecting a generic, "Thank you for coming" message. I typed. "Me, hi everyone. Mark and I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for making our day so special. We are currently going through the cards, and we are overwhelmed by the generosity, or we would be." I paused. I saw Jessica is typing. Appear at the top of the screen. "Jessica, Soph. Love you. Can't wait to see pics. Red heart hash." The audacity. The sheer, unmitigated gall to send a heart emoji after robbing me blind. I didn't reply to her. I uploaded the video file. Uploading. 100%. Me, unfortunately, it seems that there was a discrepancy with the gift box. We found that almost all the cash gifts were missing. We were confused at first, but then the venue manager sent us this security footage from the bridal suite. I hit send. "Me, Jessica, thank you for your service as maid of honor. And thank you for organizing the gifts. Since you decided to take everyone's cash as your own personal bonus, I figured I should let them know directly. I've filed the police report. Everyone in this chat who gave cash, please ask Jessica for your refunds. She has it in her bra." The group chat went silent. For 10 agonizing seconds, nothing happened. Then, the explosion. Jessica left the group. She ran. She didn't even try to defend herself. She just fled. But her mother didn't leave. "Linda, Jessica's mom, Sophia, what is this? Is this a joke?" "Me, watch the video, Linda." She brought a steamer. Then, the messages started flooding in. Bridesmaid Ashley, OMG. Uncle Robert, I am watching this right now. This is unbelievable. Mark's mom, that creates a pit in my stomach. She was hugging you all night. My phone rang. It was Jessica. I declined it. She called again. And again. I texted her directly, don't call me. Call a lawyer. Then, Uncle Robert posted in the group chat. And this was the nail in the coffin. Uncle Robert, Sophia, I am so sorry. I gave you $5,000 in that envelope. But listen to me. Because of my line of work, and past family issues, I have a habit. I photograph the contents of large cash gifts before I seal the envelope. I have a photo of the 50 $100 bills I placed in that card. The serial numbers are visible. I gasped. Mark. Look at this. Mark read the text. He has the serial numbers. That's it. That's the smoking gun. She can't say it was her money. Uncle Robert, I am forwarding the photos of the bills to you and the police. If she deposits that cash, or if they find it in her possession, it is traceable directly to me. We went to the police station an hour later. We walked in with a laptop, a flash drive, and Uncle Robert's photos printed out. The desk sergeant looked bored until we showed him the video. When he saw the steamer, he actually sat up. That's premeditated, he muttered. That's burglary tools. That bumps it up. It's $15,000, I said. Grand larceny. Felony theft. They issued a warrant that night. We found out later what happened. Jessica had panicked. After leaving the group chat, she tried to do damage control. She drove to an ATM at 4 a.m. on Sunday morning, hours after the wedding, but before I sent the video. She deposited $4,000 into her account. The police subpoenaed her bank records on Monday. The deposit time matched. And when they arrested her at her apartment on Tuesday morning, they found the rest of the cash, $11,000, hidden in a showbox in her closet. They checked the serial numbers against Uncle Robert's photos. Match. 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 She was done. But the story didn't end there. The interrogation revealed the why. Jessica wasn't just greedy. She was drowning. She had racked up $40,000 in credit card debt trying to keep up appearances. She leased a car she couldn't afford. She bought designer bags to post on Instagram and then returned them, or sold them. And then, the police found her texts. She had been texting another bridesmaid, Kelly, weeks before the wedding. Jessica, weddings are such a goldmine. So much cash floating around and everyone is too drunk to notice. I wish I could just grab a handful. Kelly, LOL, don't we all? Kelly thought she was joking. She wasn't. Jessica was charged with grand larceny, burglary, for entering the suite with intent to commit a crime, and possession of criminal tools, the steamer. Her family was humiliated. Linda sent me a check for the full $15,000 3 days later. Linda, I am so sorry. I failed her. Please take this. We are mortgaging the house to pay for her lawyer, but you shouldn't suffer. I hope you can forgive us. I cashed the check. I didn't forgive Jessica. The legal process was brutal. Jessica pleaded guilty to a lesser charge to avoid prison time, but she has a felony on her record now. She has to pay restitution, which her parents already covered, and do 500 hours of community service. She lost her job. It turns out, banks don't like employing people with felony theft convictions. A few months later, a clip of the video, the part where she steams the envelope, leaked online. I didn't leak it. Maybe it was a cousin. Maybe it was a guest. It went viral on TikTok. #Steamer Bandit. Jessica tried to comment on it. She tried to say she was mentally ill and needed help. But the internet is ruthless. They found the screenshots of her bragging about the gold mine. They tore her apart. I'm sitting in my new house now. The house we bought with the down payment. It's beautiful. It has a big backyard for a dog we plan to get. I look at the wedding photos on the wall. I cropped Jessica out of all of them. It wasn't hard. She was always standing slightly to the side, trying to find her light. I lost a best friend that day. It hurts. Sometimes, I still reach for my phone to text her a meme before I remember. But then I remember the steamer. I remember the $1 bills. I remember the look on her face when she hugged me on the dance floor, pressing my own stolen money against my chest. I didn't lose a friend. I lost a parasite. And honestly, the clarity was worth more than $15,000. So, tell me. Am I the monster for exposing my best friend to her family and the law? Or did she just steam open the wrong envelope?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.